Okay. So this paper pack is actually, this piece of paper is actually from the secret box. This is from the paper pack in the secret box. We're going to be making this really cool page with the Border Maker cartridge that was in the secret box. So you want to get out this green, it's green on one side, a green pattern with leaves, and the orange on the other side. And you could really use any paper that's double-sided, that has a different look to each side or a different color, so it's going to stand out when you put them all on one page. So what I did was I pulled out my trimmer, and on the trimmer there is a diagonal line. Everybody asks, what is that diagonal line used for? And it's used for this particular page. I put in my scoring blade, so I take out my straight blade, I put in the scoring blade, which is just going to give it a crease, and I take this piece of paper and I put it in and line it up on this diagonal line, and make sure the point.
Who's calling me?
What's that? I'm recording, Janet, so you can watch it later if you need. So what I'm going to do is take the point of this paper and put it on the 4-inch mark, and then the edge of it, so the tip is at the 4-inch mark and the edge of the paper is along that diagonal line. And then I'm just going to score it so there's a nice crease so I can fold it back. Really super simple. And you want to make sure the fold is a really good crease. You can take your multi-purpose tool and you can just rub the edge on it so it's creased really well. And then you're going to do it on the opposite side. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the opposite corner. Same thing. I'm going to put it into the 4-inch mark. And I'm going to score it. Remember that edge of the paper is right on that diagonal line on the trimmer. And then I'm going to fold it back. And that's all I need the trimmer for. It was just those two things.
Oh.
Yeah, that's, most people look at this page and think you're going to be trimming back and forth. I only used the scoring blade and folded it really well so it looks like this. And then I'm going to take my Border Maker tool and I'm going to pull out the paper tray, that paper guide. I put in the new Border Maker cartridge that I just got in the secret box. And you could do this with any of the chain Border Maker cartridges. It would work with anything that's a chain for this particular pattern. So I'm going to stick this into my paper tray right up against the edge and then fold down the magnet. Now the edge of the paper, it's going to fold a little bit. Don't worry, we'll smooth that out later because it's a little too long. Don't try to cut it down. Leave it like that. Don't worry about that. Then just fold your paper tray back and you have this sticking out here. And we're going to do every one of the punches as if it was the full sheet. And I'm going to just do my Border Maker in. Now, what I did learn is as you're punching, don't pull the border cartridge holder out all the way. Just pull it out a little bit and slide it. Otherwise, it will get caught on the folded piece of paper.
I wonder if that was my problem when I was doing the National Scrapbook Day and I was trying to do the jumbled chain.
Yes.
And you had us fold it in half and I was like, oh, it's messing up.
Yes, if you're pulling it all the way out, it does get caught. So what I did was once I punch, I only pull it out a little bit and slide it over and put it into the next spot, because then it wasn't getting caught on it being two pieces in there. A lot of times when there's double layers, it'll get caught inside that Border Maker cartridge. So I just pull it out a little bit, slide it over, and that worked so much better. And then slide it over, and then slide it over. And I did all the spots because these are going to be different sizes, which is exactly what you want. And then you have the corner of your page as well.
Huh.
So I'm just putting that to the side. I'm going to clean up my scraps here. And then I'm going to do the other side, same way. Just carefully take this out. You'll smooth out those edges later. Once you tape them down, nobody's going to see it. So I turn it around. I pull out my paper tray and I put that folded corner piece into the paper tray. Just like so, and then fold back the guide. And then and you want to make sure when you're doing this that the paper holder is on a flat surface, because I do have a little ridge on the edge of my table. And sometimes if this is up just a little bit, it's not going to be level, and you really want it level. So I just press and then move this down a little bit to the next one. And there's only a tiny piece left to go in that last spot, but you do want to make sure you do that last spot so it gets the whole row, and it'll line up perfectly on your paper when you put it on your paper. So now these are on the other side. And I pull this out and I'm going to smooth it out. Let me get rid of all this. We call this border maker poo, all the garbage that goes in. We're just going to throw all that out, all those little pieces. So I used a white background paper. And this is the original. This is what it's going to look like. So like I said, I just used a piece of the white cardstock. And the easiest thing to do is put this on, this big piece on first. That really will help set the tone for your page. And I make sure I get tape on those spots where there's wrinkles, just so that it lays down flat. Okay, and then so you put this right into the corner of your background paper. So it goes right across. Now that would look great just on itself, but I wanted to use all the pieces that I just punched. So now I'm going to put tape down the corners.
Oh, I see. It's not a separate piece of white paper.
Yeah, no, it's just, I used the full background and taped everything to it. And that just gave me the guides of where everything went. And then these pieces, I wanted to make sure that it was green, and then I flipped this one over to the orange side, and I'm going to tape these down. And the best way to tape this kind of stuff when it's really delicate is to use your repositional tape, which is all little glue dots. So I actually use, this is an old piece of backing for stickers, which is the perfect thing. I always keep it right under my mat, pull one out whenever I use my repositional tape. And all I do is take this, and then I can run repositional tape over top of all these little things, and those little glue dots go on the paper and don't stick to this background paper, and you have all little glue dots on the back of it. So, and then what I do is I just put this down and kind of line up so that all these points are about the same width away from the edge, and then I'm doing the same thing on the other one. Oops. This one is very delicate. It looks great behind those border stickers. And then if anything's sticking off just a little bit, just remember you can always, with that repositional tape, what's great about it is you can pick it up and move it over and reposition it. That's the whole point of that particular tape. And then the same thing with the other side. I'm going to flip this, the shorter one, so that the green is next to the orange. And then flip this one so the orange is next. And that is my page. Isn't that cool?
It's really easy.
It is super easy, and it's using one piece of paper. You don't have to turn around and get different papers. Here's my original, and here is the, I used some of the embellishments from that secret box. It's super simple. So I'm hoping